Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Senior Health Podcast. Before we begin, I want you to take a moment and think about your lower body, your hips, your legs, your pelvis. For many women over 50, this region begins to feel different. Some describe a heavy feeling in the legs. Others say their hips feel stiff in the mornings. Some feel bloating low in the belly or growing pressure in the pelvis they can't quite explain. And for many, nighttime bathroom trips become more frequent, as if the bladder suddenly developed its own personality. These changes often arrive quietly, gradually, but they affect everything: sleep, energy, confidence, even mood. Today, we're going to explore a movement that looks incredibly simple but has surprising power: the butterfly stretch. And to help us understand why this gentle, almost childlike stretch can be so transformative, we're joined by someone whose voice I treasure, the wise, soft-spoken expert in traditional Japanese medicine, Dr. Gi Hinohara. Dr. Hinohara, it's wonderful to have you back.
Thank you, Dr. John. It is always a pleasure to sit with you. In Japan, we say, even the smallest leaf follows the rhythm of the wind. The body is the same. Even small shifts in our daily life, a stretch, a breath, a moment of intention, can guide us back into balance.
Beautifully said. Today we're talking about something many people overlook because it seems so gentle.
Gentleness is often the medicine we have forgotten.
Let's begin with the issues that lead women to this stretch in the first place. I hear patients say, "I feel heavy from the hips down. My lower belly feels full. My legs swell so easily. My back aches when I wake up." From your perspective, why do these symptoms cluster so strongly after age 50?
After 50, the body enters what I call the season of preservation. Energy is no longer spent freely. Muscles lose elasticity. Connective tissue becomes drier. And the pelvis, which is the crossroads of the lower body, becomes more rigid. When the pelvis stiffens, the inner thigh muscles become tight. And when the inner thighs tighten, blood and lymph flow slow down. Imagine a river that used to flow freely, now meeting rocks and narrowing banks. This creates heaviness, swelling, and a sense of pressure.
That's very consistent with Western medicine. The adductors, those inner thigh muscles, connect directly into the pelvis. When they shorten, they pull the pelvis forward, compressing the lower abdomen and changing the position of the bladder. I've seen this cause everything from lower back pain to pelvic pressure to urinary urgency.
Yes, and we must also speak of emotions. For many women, the pelvis becomes a container for unspoken feelings: stress, responsibility, caretaking, unresolved tension. These feelings settle into the muscles like a weight.
So physical stiffness and emotional stiffness feed each other.
Exactly. The pelvis holds the stories of a lifetime: childbirth, work, grief, love, endurance. When this area becomes tight, the whole lower body becomes guarded.
Let's also talk about bladder issues. Nighttime bathroom trips are one of the most common complaints. Patients often assume it's their bladder aging, but is that actually the case?
Not always. The bladder is like a bowl that rests on the pelvic floor. When the inner thighs become tight, they tug on the ligaments that support the pelvis. This shifts the bladder slightly, sometimes only a few millimeters, but enough to create a sensation of urgency. Many women think, "I have to pee," when in truth, the bladder is simply being squeezed.
That is a powerful distinction, and it explains why medications often don't help, because the issue isn't bladder function, it's pelvic alignment.
Yes, and alignment is something we can often restore with simple, thoughtful movement.
Let's go through some common mistakes people make when trying to relieve these symptoms. Mistake number 1, forcing flexibility. People push their knees down aggressively in the butterfly stretch.
Ah, yes, a common mistake. In Japan, we say a flower opens not by force, but by warmth. When we push the knees down, the inner thighs panic and tighten further. A stretch should feel like melting, not tearing.
Mistake number 2, only stretching the outer hips.
Very true. Many women focus on the glutes or hamstrings, but forget the deep inner line, the adductors. These are the muscles that quietly hold the pelvis. Ignoring them is like trying to open a door by pushing on the frame instead of the handle.
Mistake number 3, sitting for long periods without counter movement.
This is perhaps the greatest enemy of pelvic health. Hours of sitting compress the pelvis, shorten the inner thighs, and slow lymph flow. The body was not designed to fold in half for 8 hours a day. Even 2 minutes of gentle movement can reset the hips.
So let's talk about the butterfly stretch itself. Why is this movement so powerful for women over 50?
The butterfly stretch is one of the gentlest ways to open the adductors and create space in the pelvis. The soles of the feet touch, the knees fall open, and the pelvis naturally widens. Energetically, this awakens the hara, the centre of vitality in the lower abdomen. Physically, it improves blood flow, lymph drainage, and pelvic floor tone, but its true strength lies in its softness. The small, rhythmic movement of the knees, like butterfly wings, tells the body, "You're safe, you can release." Over time, this simple movement can reduce swelling in the legs, ease lower back, tension improve bladder support, increase circulation to the pelvic organs, soften emotional tension stored in the hips, restore natural posture. It is a movement of opening, not just physically, but internally.
I love that description. It's a stretch people underestimate because it looks so simple, but it targets some of the most influential muscles in the lower body. Let me connect this to Western science for our listeners. The inner thighs influence pelvic alignment more than almost any other muscle group. When they loosen, the pelvis finds a neutral position, not tilted forward, not backward. This neutral alignment takes pressure off the spine and bladder. The stretch also activates lymph nodes in the groin, major drainage points for the entire lower body. Because the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump like the heart, it requires muscle movement to push fluid. That's why people often feel lighter after doing the butterfly stretch. Their tissues are literally less congested.
It is always beautiful when ancient wisdom and modern science meet in the middle.
And I also want to highlight how gentle motion calms the nervous system. Slow, rhythmic movement activates the parasympathetic system, the rest and restore mode. This reduces anxiety and supports deeper sleep.
Yes, in traditional Japanese medicine, the hips are considered the cradle of both physical and emotional energy. When we move them gently, the mind softens as well. Let me share a story from my practice. A woman in her 60s came to see me. She had swelling in her legs, heaviness in her hips, and emotional fatigue she struggled to describe. She said, "My lower body feels like it's carrying a secret weight." I asked her to practice the butterfly stretch every morning and evening. Just 1 minute. Soft, gentle fluttering. No pushing, no forcing. After 1 week, she told me she felt warmth returning to her lower belly. After 2 weeks, her nighttime bathroom trips decreased. After 3 weeks, her back pain softened. But what touched her most was the emotional change. She said, "I didn't know how much I was holding until I began to let go." This is why I say the body remembers. When we move with gentleness, the body feels permission to release layers we did not know were there.
That's beautiful. I've seen similar stories in my own patients, especially women who thought their symptoms were simply part of aging and didn't realize how much improvement was possible. Simple takeaway. Plan for anyone listening at home. Here is a simple way to start the butterfly stretch safely. Sit on the floor or on a firm mattress. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees fall open naturally, but don't push. Keep your spine long, but relaxed. Begin fluttering your knees gently like slow butterfly wings. Do 30-50 soft pulses. Keep your face relaxed, your shoulders soft. Breathe slowly and deeply. You can also do it lying down if sitting is uncomfortable.
And I encourage you to end with a moment of stillness. Place your hands on your lower belly. Feel the warmth return. Feel the breath deepen. This moment of awareness completes the practice. If you do this at night, many women find that it reduces bladder urgency and improves sleep.
Consistency matters more than intensity. A minute a day can create remarkable change.
Yes, and remember, healing begins when we stop rushing and start listening.
Dr. Hinohara, thank you for sharing your wisdom today. This stretch is so simple, yet it touches so many systems of the body.
Thank you, Dr. John. I hope our listeners remember this. When the hips begin to open, the whole person begins to breathe again.
If you try the butterfly stretch for 7 days, we'd love to hear how you feel. Thank you for joining us on the Senior Health Podcast. Take care, stay gentle with your body, and we'll see you next time.